Venus is now in shadow in the sign of Leo, and that means she is walking the path that come July 23rd, when she goes retrograde, she will walk backwards over until the 4th of September when she goes direct. That is when Venus will return to where she is right now, the 20th of June. Once she goes direct, well, she'll stay in shadow, walking over the same path for the third and final time, right to the 7th of October. And I gotta tell you, this Venus retrograde season in the sign of Leo is set to be a doozy, put it that way. There is this ongoing dance that Venus is having with Uranus, with Jupiter, with Neptune, with Pluto as well. All of these tense conversations of uncertainty and surprise and disappointment and intensity and even a little bit of obsession as well. And here's the thing, we've also got a series of trines with Chiron. It may feel as if something within us is opened, is exposed. It may not necessarily feel comfortable. We might not like the surprises. And yet there is profound healing here that ultimately is going to lead us to love ourselves that much more deeply, more than we ever knew before. Venus is famously goddess of love. When Venus goes retrograde, well, loves from the past can come back in, or we feel motivated to go to them, or perhaps we just don't see the past accurately. And that seems to very much be the case now. It's like in an instant, we are shaken awake from any nostalgia that we had, and maybe we're thinking a little bit too much about someone from the past, or still letting them push our buttons in some way. This gives us a chance to really understand our own worthiness, what it is that we're really wanting in our hearts when it comes to romantic love, platonic love, and love from ourselves, as part of ensuring that we find healthy ways to get it. It is only by appreciating that we are on a path that is not the way, that's not where we want to be, is not the way to peace in our hearts, that we then make the decision to do the work that peace and love of ourselves, genuine, embodied, humble love sometimes requires. That is the gift of this time. It is going to be a gift very well earned. Venus is also goddess of beauty and pleasure and prosperity. And so you can see with a doozy of a Venus retrograde like this, it's not the best time to be making big, beautifying cosmetic changes, to try new treatments we never tried before. Experimental stuff really is not likely to go well or give us the results that we want. Now, this includes tattoos as well. If you end up buying new clothes, new makeup, well, you just might change your mind, in some cases dramatically so, and think, what was I thinking? Getting that new haircut, buying that new wardrobe, anything you do to celebrate your unique beauty, well, the new stuff, just save it just a little bit. How Venus speaks to you in your sign will depend on your sun, moon, and rising. You want to take all into account and synthesize the information. And it is these areas of life that I'm going to mention now that will be areas where you're either finding love, learning about love, spending too much money, or maybe looking to beautify in some way. But remember, once Venus goes direct on the other side of the retrograde, what you thought you loved, what you thought you wanted, well, you just might change your mind. Aries, romance, flirtation, what it is you really want in your heart of hearts. But this part of the sky also has to do with gambling. You could have some very erratic results with all of these endeavors, or go way overboard. So pace yourself and be yourself, as I like to say. Taurus, if anybody's going to have love from the past show up right about now, it certainly would be you. Whether you're obsessing about the past or reconnecting with it, chances are you'll see this time of exploration differently once we're on the other side of the retrograde. Gemini, it is your neighborhood. It is those synchronistic connections where it can feel like love just pops up. But you know what they say, be careful about mixing certain things, especially close to where you live. Things might not go well and you end up running into that person again and again. Be mindful of your words. You might be speaking words of heart, but then your heart changes its mind. Cancer, you want to love the way you're earning, but you want to be mindful of how you're spending. Maybe spending a lot on whatever you feel is your definition of beauty. then realizing that's not the way. Money and love do not mix at this time. Leo, this is Venus in your sign. This is powerful. It is identity, but it's also you being a magnet. The thing is, you might be a magnet to some pretty erratic moments and people that your heart wants, and the value you see in yourself. Well, it's about going deeper. And just when you think you know, you might change your mind and move towards something more substantial. Virgo, what's behind the scenes, not just on levels of soul, psyche, and spirit, but also what's hidden. Whatever's happening in love, you feel like you can't announce to the world, and yet in an instant, it could all come out. People you meet now are more complicated than they seem right away. Libra, friendships, mixing friends and love, that's really where the big surprises lie now. Friends might have an over influence in love. You'll be able to see it differently now as part of understanding how to align with the love you want, that you have now or that you hope to have in the future. Scorpio, you want to love the career path you're on. You want to love what feels like a higher calling to you. If your heart's not in it, you'll know in an instant that just isn't going to work for you. And wild opportunities can feel like they come, but they may be disappointing. Now, romance with bosses, people in positions of authority. If it is, you're trying to keep that under wraps, it all could come out in an instant. Sagittarius, the international love, the adventurous love, that may be part of the picture now that can bring about those surprise and uncertain emotion. However, you are a sign that actually does really well with intensity, and you'll find that especially if you're traveling. But of course, you want to be mindful. What you think you're getting and what it actually is could be two very different things until you are shocked back to reality. Capricorn, this is profound and meaningful. It is about the taboo, and you're ready to explore it, to look deeply at those attractions and those types of love-oriented behaviors that maybe you denied yourself before. What you're really going for is meaningful intimacy and honesty with another person. Now, you might tell yourself you have it where you don't. So strive to stay honest with you, and you'll find something that feels really authentic and strong. Aquarius, this is Venus retrograde in your opposite sign. If anyone is going to feel this in the context of love, it certainly will be you within your established partnerships or new people you meet now. There are shocks, there are surprises. There might be you very uncharacteristically being obsessive. Love and money do not mix, especially with those ongoing contacts with Neptune. That could provide that sense of loss there, but it doesn't have to be that way. Stay connected to a sense of what makes you worthy of love, and you'll learn so much that heals you at this time. Pisces, it's the work you do, your daily life. You want to move through life with greater love and love the actual work, the day ins and day outs of what you do. Be very careful of office romances, shared habits. Can you actually live and move through life with this person in those smallest moments where you can? Well, the love takes on greater depth, but this could be a time when you see another person's habits very differently as part of deciding whether or not this is someone to navigate forward with. For exclusive horoscopes, check out NadiyaShahSuperstars.com.